BeamNG's 0.34 update has just dropped. This is your roundup of all the new features. The BeamNG developers call this update Vintage Ventures, and that's because a vintage pre-war car has been added to the game. It's the Bruckell Nine. So this is the first pre-war vehicle in vanilla BeamNG. That means it was produced before 1939. I love the look of this thing, and I think it most closely resembles a 1933 Chevrolet Series CA Eagle, but it takes inspiration from many other vehicles. Let me know what you think it most closely resembles in the comments down below. So this vehicle has a split hood, and underneath we can see the flathead 4-cylinder engine. It's a 2.2 litre engine, and being a split hood, you can also open it from this side. Look at that, like butterfly wings. This engine produces 47 horsepower. Let's listen to it. That is a new engine sound to BeamNG, and it sounds really realistic. The interior is really nice. You can see we haven't got anything like seat belts. We've got these very, very thin doors, but listen to the sound they make. Wow, it's like a shed door. And we've got some interactivity here. We've got lights and even a little high beam dimming switch on the floor. So it's like a pedal switch for the high beams. And the key is separated from the starter button. We also have a choke and a throttle, although you can't interact with those. Okay, time for a test drive. So the Bruckell Nine was produced between 1932 and 1938. Whoa, this is really a post-Prohibition era American sedan, and there's lots of different body styles we'll be checking out later. You can see we've even got this wiper motor here. Unfortunately, you can't turn that on, but maybe in the future we will be able to. So the suspension on this car is very, very ancient. We've got leaf springs, we don't have sway bars, and you know what? It makes a difference. This car handles, whoa, like a vintage vehicle. Look how much it leans into the corner, and it does not feel stable at all. That is realistic, but also we've got something called steering slop. Look how much I'm moving the wheel and the car is not changing direction. That is a very, very common thing on this age of vehicles. Okay, time for a crash test into a modern Roma at about 50 miles per hour. This car is incredibly rigid. No crumple zones to speak of, and as you can see, the Roma has deformed a lot more than the Bruckell Nine. Now, we don't have seatbelts in here, so actually this would have been a pretty fatal crash. So the Bruckell Nine comes with 25 configs across 5 body styles. We've also got resto mods, hot rods, race and drag configs. Here's one of the other body styles. It's the pickup truck, and we have a V8 engine. Open the hood, we have a 3.8 litre flathead V8. Some other nice details, we have an Awooga horn. Listen to this. And there's a new halogen lighting system for BeamNG. On this car, when you turn them on, can you see? They're kind of fading in and fading out. That is simulating vintage halogen bulbs, which basically need to warm up. You can also see it on the brake lights and even on the interior gauges. I have noticed though, apart from the modern resto mod configs, none of the Bruckell Nines have indicators. So I'm guessing you had to do hand signals out of the window. You can see I am indicating. Down the bottom right, no indicators on the car. Here's the police config. We have a very nice siren. And look at this red flashing light at the front. So the V8 engine can be tuned to produce a lot of power, but in this sort of basic model, the police car, it has 86 horsepower. Let's try and chase the Soledad Lansdale, and to be honest, I think we can catch this guy. Whoa, very bouncy suspension. Ooh, let's try and ram him off the road. There you go. Oh, we were taken up by an ETK. Come on. Wow, we are being stopped by a citizen of the town. Okay, you win. There are lots of other configs as well, such as this panel van, and here is one of the cabriolets, but it's our first hot rod. This is the Lakebed Jalopy. We've got a 221 horsepower naturally aspirated V8 engine and this kind of army khaki green paint. Look at the trunk on this. Oh, wow, and you can see the exposed woodwork of the back seat. That's amazing. Seems like we've got the steering wheel from the Piccolina Corsa, and oh wow, this thing is loud. Okay, let's take it on a long straight road and see what it can do. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness, wow. That's pretty powerful. Remember, this is naturally aspirated. We still only have 3 gears, but we're absolutely storming through that 3rd gear. It's a very long gear. And you know what? It handles okay for being a hot rod. Oh, maybe it doesn't. There's 90. There's 100. We're still accelerating. I'm going to test the brakes. Wow, a lot of slippage on the brakes there. Still accelerating. Oh, wow. I can just tell the hot rods are going to be amazing for drag racing and just general racing. Oh, what a great car. Of course, there are lots of other configs, like this resto mod. It's been modernized, and I really love the body kit on this thing. It's actually been slammed, too. You can see inside we've got some more modern features. Look at this dashboard. Wow. And we've got an automatic gearbox with a very modern-looking shifter. But I want to go drag racing, and we've got the Good Noodle. This has a raised front suspension and a 587 horsepower engine. And again, this has a naturally aspirated engine, which really surprised me. But we're going to use this to try one of the new drag racing challenges. So drag racing has been improved. We've got a new UI and several different missions. But we now have something called dial setup. Basically, we can estimate what time we're going to do the drag race in. And the winner is the drag racer that gets closest to their estimated time without going any faster than the time they estimated. So I'm going to put this at 11.6 seconds. Let's try that. The game has generated an opponent for me, the Scintilla. Uh-oh. And you can also see some of the other UI elements down here. We've got an accelerometer down the bottom left, which is obscured by my webcam. But let's crawl up to the line and try and drag race this guy properly. Right, there we go. We are on the line and off. Whoa! We go. This thing is pretty unstable at the back. Well, I think we completely lost that, but did we win the dial race? Let's see. Bonus objectives. 11 point... Uh-oh. I think I came underneath that, didn't I? So they definitely won, and I was way out with my estimate for the time. Of course, there is a good reason that the dial racing now exists. It basically means that 2 unevenly matched vehicles who have completely different performance statistics can compete with each other, because it's not how fast you go, it's how close you get to your estimated time. So West Coast USA has been improved, and can you see what's changed? Yes, over here, by the drag strip, we now have a gravel circuit. This looks really nice. We do have a bit more scenery around here as well. Basically, a gravel circuit has been carved into the side of this hill. So let's drive around in the junk rod. This car has lots of scrap heap parts, and it looks amazing. What does it say on the bonnet there? I will not scratch the paint. I think it's a bit late for that. So this is a very basic course, but you can imagine it'll be a lot of fun driving around here in multiplayer with friends, or maybe as part of a race. And the corners have a nice sort of bank on them, so you can basically carry your speed even if you're going pretty fast into the corners like I am. Whoa, you can carry yourself through. Wow. Also, the car park of the Motorsport Centre has been completely changed. In fact, it's been totally removed, and now we've just got a sort of circuit around here and kind of a place where people have been drifting. The car park is now very, very small. It's just over here. They've also improved the bus stops with new bus stop models, and they're different across all the different maps, so the bus stop shape and color varies based on the map you're on. As well as the Bruckell 9, we get a brand new config for the Gavril Grand Marshal. This is called the Slider. It's a drift config with 407 horsepower. Look at this livery, it's really nice. And it's the perfect vehicle to test out a new feature that's come to career mode and free roam. So we're driving on top of the sort of mountain here, and what's this blue sign? This is a new drifting zone. So if we go onto the line, here we go, and drift over it. Whoa, there we go. We have a new drifting UI. Looks very like Forza Horizon. Of course, I'm not very pro at drifting, but look at my score. ×2, nice drift chain. Oh, if only we could have held that. There are 7 of these drift zones dotted around the West Coast USA map. They will be coming to other, maps in the future. New record, score 1,311. If you try that out, let me know your scores in the comments. There's also 3 new scenarios that showcase the Bruckell 9. We've got Vintage Hauler, Hot Rod Club, and Bootleg Runner, a guy, I guess, running from the police with their moonshine. We also have a brand new main menu, and it's massively improved. It looks more modern, it's way more responsive, and that also means the new parts menu is now on by default. Look at this. Again, this is amazing, and it's just so much more responsive and easier to use. Back on the main menu, you may have spotted a new button. We've got Rally. This is a new feature that's come to BeamNG. Just like career mode, if you spam click it, we can enable the Rally mode. So this is a very early preview of the Rally feature in BeamNG. Let's hop in and I'll show you what it's like. So there are 3 Rally stages in this mode so far. Let's try Fastello Norte. So this works very like other time trials and races in BeamNG, but with a very important difference. Let's start and you'll see immediately what I mean. So this is a sequential car. Let's go. And we have visual pace notes at the top of the screen. It's really, really cool. Now, they're not audio pace notes. There's no co-driver reading out the pace notes, but they're still brilliant. So we've got square right over here. I've been playing some Dirt Rally recently, so hopefully my skills are all right. Maybe not. Whoa, it's very tight. This is like an urban course here. I probably haven't got the right steering wheel on. I do have a smaller steering wheel that's better for rallying. And this is just a glimpse at the future for BeamNG. More advanced racing modes. Things like this will add to the game massively, and imagine what the modding community can do with this tool. Really cool here, you can change the preferences for the pace notes, so you can say 5 seconds before the corner, or up to 12 seconds before the corner, or down to 1. That is not recommended. There are more behind the scenes changes. A big one for mod creators is the biome tool. This is a tool to help map modders generate foliage for their entire map. It makes adding trees and other vegetation to maps much simpler and a lot quicker. So I'm expecting to see some amazing vegetation in modded maps in the coming months. We also technically have more police vehicles because more vehicles have been given police accessories, such as the Hydra with its new light bar. The T-Series can also have a siren and flashing lights. And they've even added more lights to the Moonhawk. There's also a new small square bale of hay, and you can now change the color of the traffic cones. Finally, there's the usual things like better optimization, better simplified cars in traffic. So we now have the Vivace, the K-Series, the Sunburst, and the Wendover spawning back in traffic. Career mode also has some minor improvements, and now for the first time, you earn rewards for doing drag races. And why are we driving in a circle around here? Well, apparently they've added a sound for wet asphalt. Let's listen. Yep, that definitely sounds different. And that was BeamNG 0.34. A really cool update, but I'd love to hear what you think of it. Will you be driving the new Bruckell 9? I think I will. I love the look of this thing, and it's so much fun to drive. Make sure to read the patch notes that I've left in the description down below. And if you'd like to see some more BeamNG, click the video on screen right now. It's a great BeamNG car mod of the Audi Q8 SUV. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon for some more simulator adventures.